Well, hey everyone, happy Monday, or if you're watching this on replay, whatever day of the week it might be. I am so excited because today I'm going to show you how to make the happiest DIY flowers ever using these could either be twigs from your yard. I think these are willow branches that I picked up at Goodwill, but something like this. You're going to use a little bit of yellow tissue paper, some hot glue, and I'm using green split peas. So this is such a fun project. I'm so excited about it. And I'd love for you to help me spread the word about making forsythia branches by sprinkling this to your social media, if you want to. Okay, so let me show you, there's two different ways you can do it. Let me show you what I've made so far. And I'm going to show you two different ways. Okay, so this right here is the first and easiest way, although they're both super easy, to make forsythia branches. All right? And this is also easy, but it's like a step or two more. And I think it's a little bit more realistic. So that is the second kind. Okay. I'm gonna pop this back behind me. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna do is you are going to get a piece of yellow tissue paper, and you guys, the cherry blossom trees, the apple blossom trees, those things, and the forsythia, those all seem to bloom pretty early in the spring where I live, which is Georgia. And so I'm going to be on the lookout for some light pink tissue paper to make that as well. Okay, the first thing you're going to do, I mean, you could do a whole arrangement with just one sheet. Is you're gonna line it up. You want it to be crumpled looking. And I'm gonna give you the measurements, so get ready to write that down. Of course, you can do whatever size you like, and it totally depends on how big your branches are that you're gonna use. But I am using, for my measurement, I'm just going to cut one whole end off of this, and I'm going to make it be just a little bit shy of 3 inches. And then I'm not cutting neat or straight or anything, because some of that, I'm going to show you further. We're going to do the first way. Because some of the jig-jagged lines, what have I got going on here? Add a little bit to the look. Okay. And I think I want to be just a smidge closer so you guys can see my hands. By the way, if the comments here are in your way, you should be able to swipe them left or right or side to side with your finger, with your mouse, with your cursor, and have them disappear. Do we have a stick bug? I don't know what that means. I haven't made one yet. I did make a lot of nests last year using sticks. If you're going to use something like a branch from your yard, you do want to make sure that it's dry. And also you want to make sure that it doesn't have any critters in it. I got so lucky on one of my treasure hunting trips to Goodwill last year that I saw this bundle of twigs, and I grabbed it for like $3 or $4, and I've done a ton of different things with it. But you can use just a regular tree branch from your yard, or if you don't have any, go to your local park or parking lot, anywhere that there's going to be branches and things on the ground. Okay, I'm going to fold this in half. not even neat or straight. And again, it's 3 inches, not quite 3 inches wide, okay? And then I'm gonna cut these about between 4 and 5 inches long. If you want them fuller, just cut them a little bit longer. Okay, so I am using my low temperature hot glue gun that looks terrible. Oh my word, I need to clean this puppy up. It's called a Surebonder Cool Shot low temperature hot glue gun, and you are 100% gonna get glue on your fingers. So please don't use a regular hot temperature gun because that hurts and you will get glue burns. I can almost guarantee it. So this is a good option. It's under $10. I found these at both Walmart and Hobby Lobby, and there's nothing special about it. It's just a mini hot glue gun, low temperature, and I feel like it's a little bit even lower temperature than a regular low temperature hot glue gun. Okay, so we have our piece that is about 4.5 to 5 inches long, and it's 3 inches wide. Okay, so what and my tissue paper is crumpled. So what you're gonna do basically is you're just gonna start crumpling one end, and then you're gonna roll, oops, I'm going the wrong direction. Oh shoot, okay, let's start over. With this one, your fold is going to be the outside rim. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing, but the opposite direction. So I'm just pinching, and then I'm going to start pinching and scrunching this around on itself. It's sort of like a rolled rosette, kind of. The messier the better. And when you get to the end, I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue on this. Glue it down. Ouch, and I did just get glue all over my fingers. Okay, then I'm going to crumple it. And I know this is nothing very pretty right now, but let me pull this. This is the more simple, less realistic version, okay? So then I'm just going to hot glue it. And I think if you have a branch that has little like nubs on it, that it looks more realistic if you glue these on where those nubs are. I don't know what the correct word for that is. I'm just putting a little blob of hot glue there, and then I'm going to kind of pinch this end around the branch. And then I'm messing it up a little bit more. And this is the one that we just did. So, can you do this? Absolutely. Let's see who's on. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if I said this already. Thank you. Somebody says they love my yellow shirt. I wore it just because I was going to be doing yellow today, and yellow is such a happy color. Although it's like 30 degrees in Atlanta, and it's a little chilly for this little cotton blouse. But if you love this project, I would love it if you would sprinkle this to your Facebook page, if you feel like it. Okay, so that is basically all there is to making this style of flower. This is what the back of it looks like. Can you see? It's just glued on. Nothing fancy. But when you see this from a distance, let me put it in this. Oops. And I might cut it shorter if I was going to use it in a smaller vase like this. But if you saw a whole bunch of these from a distance, it definitely gives the impression of a forsythia. And I pulled this out of my basement. I have some faux floral things in my basement, and this was a pretty decent forsythia floral piece. And this, from a distance, if you had a bunch of them, it does give that it gives the impression. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a little bit more complicated, although it's really not complicated at all, version of this. Okay, and you're going to start with the same thing. I'm going to cut roughly not quite 3 inches wide, and then I'm going to fold it, and it's all crumpled up. We'll be crumpling this a little bit more. Get this out of the way so you can see. Okay, and I'm going to do again about 5, not quite 5 inches, maybe 6. There's no, once you get started making these, and you can whip out a whole bunch of these in just a few minutes, you'll see that it looks good to vary the sizes. Okay, so this is sort of like the little rolled snipped flowers that we made a very long time ago with felt, where we folded a piece of felt in half and then we made snips over the fold. Okay, we're going to do the same thing, but we're not gluing it in advance. Okay, so here's the paper, and here's the fold, and you can cut these as wide or as narrow as you like. Honestly, the narrower the better. They look more like the actual forsythia. And I'll show you in just a second. I'm one of those people that likes to do, if you can cut out multiple ones at the same time, then why would you want to cut out one at a time? Well, I'm only doing that because I'm showing you, but I'm going to show you how to cut out multiple at the same time. Okay, so here's what we've got. This is what it would look like if you opened it up. I promise I'm not trying to make this difficult because it's really not. Okay, so that's what I'm going to start with. But for my own self, what I would do to shorten the whole project up a little bit is I would cut 4 or 5 or 6 at a time. So I have multiple here. And you're going to do exactly the same thing. I'm just going to finish this so that I can make these when I'm done. So what do you guys think so far? Do you like this project? Flowers are something that they make me happy. And I love making flowers, whether they're made out of coffee filters or tissue paper or canvas. I just love making them. And so here at DIY Dreaming, we do a ton of different DIY flowers. Okay, so here you get the point. I cut out 4, all at the same time. So let's set those aside. Now, with this one, we're going to be smooching the 2 ends that are folded over, not where the fold is. And you're just rolling. Let me put a little dab of glue on here so I can show you what I'm talking about. So, I'm all fingers. So I am basically just rolling this and scrunching all the way down. And the messier the better, which is good for me because I'm super messy. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this very last little bit. what you're going to end up with is this is the top of it where we rolled, and these are the ends. And then you're just going to crumple them a little bit more. And this is the one I made before in about 10 minutes. And part of that time I was figuring it out because I wanted the petals to be a little bit more realistic than the first kind. But this is seriously quick. So now I'm just going to look on my little branch right here for a nubbin, or what. That's where, I guess, where a branch could start if one was going to. And I'm going to put a teeny little blob, hot glue on that, press it into the glue, and kind of curl it around the branch a little bit. And that's it. So let me see what you guys are saying. Do you like this? If you have some yellow tissue paper, and if you have access to some branches of some sort, and you have a hot glue gun, you could do this project this afternoon. Let me show you the ones we did. Very similar, this was more of a folding project, but these are actual branches from my yard, and these were the cherry blossom stems that we made. So you can see that you really can use just any kind of little branch that's fallen or that you feel like pulling down to do it on. Okay, lots of you guys are saying that you love it, and I'm so glad that you are. One thing I love to do in the spring, and I've done this for years, is I love to use split peas in glass containers with, whatever my flour is. I'm just looking to see where was that other branch. I would put a bunch of these in here, and I might cut some of them a little bit shorter. But it's a great bowl filler or vase filler, and it's a great color as well. This color of split peas, I've done this for probably 15 years. I've used split peas every spring. This fresh green color, it screams spring. And I don't know about you, but I'm already ready for spring. So let's make a few more of these with the ones that I cut. And where are they? Here they are. I'll show you how quick they can be. You could do these while you're sitting on your couch watching TV. If you have access to a plug where you can plug in your hot glue gun, or you could use another kind of glue if there's a different kind of glue that you prefer. I just like how quick everything is all stuck together when you use hot glue. And you're going to have glue strings for days and days and days. But you can use a blow dryer or a heat gun on your branches after you're all finished, and that will sort of melt them and take them away. Great job on the Forsythia. Thank you. Judy says we had our first snow today. You know, we were in Atlanta, which is where I live. They were threatening that we might get a little bit of snow, and I was so excited about that. But nope, we did not. We just got a whole bunch of wind and pretty cold temperatures here. Sometimes you might tear your tissue paper a little bit, but that is no problem. Or you might get the little loops kind of stuck down in the base of it. this one looks a little funny. I'm gonna trim it. And see how quick those come together. Messier the better, the more they actually look like forsythia. So that is what I wanted to show you. There's two ways. If you missed the beginning of this video, you can go back when it's not live anymore and rewatch from the beginning. This is the more simplistic way to make forsythia. They're pretty too. And then this was the second way I showed you. And it's a little bit more complicated, one more step of cutting the little snips before you start rolling. But it's not hard at all. So this is a great idea for different seasons of the year. I'm so glad that you like that. We'll be doing lots of DIY flower projects here at DIY Dreaming during the spring, into the summer, into the fall, into Christmas next year, because here at DIY Dreaming, basically our projects are always pretty quick, pretty easy. You don't have to be an expert crafter or an artist. That's good. They're sometimes a little unusual, like making forsythia out of crumpled up yellow tissue paper. They're super affordable, and they almost always either involve faith, family, or flowers. So we'll be doing lots of flowers coming up. When you see the forsythia growing, you know spring is close. Me too. And when we did our backyard over 10 years ago, 10 or 12 years ago, that was one thing that I wanted was forsythia. So the landscaper put in like these little clumps that had only like 3 little piddly branches, but there are about 8 different spots of them. And now this year, they've got lots of shoots. They aren't blooming yet, but when they bloom, when I see that yellow, I think, oh my goodness, spring is almost here. Same with when my daffodils come up, because I have daffodil bulbs throughout the backyard, and when those start coming up and blooming, I'm like, yay, spring is really here. Okay, well, thank you guys for joining me. I hope you liked this project. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comments. Feel free to sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. What else? I don't know. Oh, if you want to see more of these kind of projects, do a this. That's a thumbs up. Or a this. That's a heart. Look to see if you've liked and followed DIY Dreaming, and turn on your notifications. And you might even want to say something here in the comments. All those things increase the chances that Facebook will serve you my next project. It's no guarantee. I still cannot figure out these darn Facebook algorithms, but those are the things that increase your chances. Okay, Dixie says that pansies would be great. I will have to start thinking about that and looking into how we could do that. We will do some cupcake liner flowers too. Yeah. If you guys have suggestions, tell me that in the comments as well. Yeah, okay, so Nadine is mentioning that I'm not able to flip my camera right now. And I do apologize for that. It's some kind of glitch with Facebook that I have absolutely no control over, and I try every time I go live to do it. As soon as it's repaired with Facebook, I'll be flipping things around so that it's all going the direction that you can read. Good thing with this is you really don't need to know which direction it's going. Yellow looks good on me, thank you. This is a super old shirt. It came from the loft probably at least 5 years ago, but it's one of my favorites that I pull out every now and again. Dixie says, should we complain to Facebook? I'm sure they're well aware of it. I wouldn't bother. Unless you just want to, ask them why people are not able to flip their videos. I'm not even able to do the little magic wand today. It's gone, so I don't know. All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching. I am, this evening, going to be doing all the rest of these branches. So I'm going to be using a lot of this crumpled up tissue paper, and I will get pictures. I'll put those here in these comments tomorrow, as well as just its own post on DIY Dreaming that you can come back and look at as well. Have a great day. See you very soon.